Hi, I got a bad cold. It's funny, with the pandemic and everything. Uh, I haven't had a cold for over a year, but I've got one now. Someone gave me an MRE. Thought we'd go through what's in it and taste test one of the elements of it. This is Menu 12, elbow macaroni and tomato sauce. This is one of the 4 vegetarian meals that the services have here. I guess originally there were only 12 menus. Now there's 24. And so there are actually 4 vegetarian ones. Although I would think if you were out as a soldier, only having 4 to choose from would be very limited. Because basically, we're going to add up the calories and things afterwards. But basically, a soldier's probably going to be eating 2 to 3 of these a day, depending on how active they are and what the situation is. Here's some information on MREs, meals ready to eat. These can be stored, if they're in a cool temperature like 50, they can last 5 years. If you're in a really hot temperature like 140 degrees, they only last a month. I was on some other site reading about MREs, and one person encountered something I never encountered, and they said that the MRE had, fully like 3 years to go, and yet the bread element had mold on it. So, maybe the seal got broken somehow, or it wasn't treated properly in the beginning. So, it's certainly no guarantee. So, MREs are designed to be a short-term food solution. If you look up the specs and what the military is supposed to be doing with them is, soldiers aren't supposed to eat them for more than 2 weeks. That's the amount of time they're saying that anyone should be eating these and then return to regular food. But you could see, being a soldier, you have to be away from perhaps a bigger concentration of camp, the other soldiers, where they actually have a mess tent and more regular meals are served. So that's what these are for. They're fairly heavy. I haven't weighed this one, but I can imagine that if you were a soldier and you're going off for 3 days, even if you're only carrying 6 of these, that's quite a bit of extra weight. They do have some. They've had in the past too some different things where, they were. I think they called them like Ranger packs at one time. They were packs that used freeze-dried food so that it would be lighter, with the idea that this person was going to be on a more extended trip or maneuver away from somewhere to eat, and they had to carry all their food. And so they devised this lighter weight thing. And kind of similar to now, they have the winter rations that are in white, and they're different menus, but they're all dehydrated food because they're lighter and they don't freeze. In other words, if I was to get this meal and it's freezing, I pull out one of the elements and I use the flameless heater, which this has. It might not even thaw the item out. So that's solved for the cold weather rations, by having freeze-dried items, or just items that aren't going to freeze. So let's take a look what's in here. And like I say, hopefully I'll do a calorie count, protein count, and sodium count too, because I'm interested in that. MREs are made for active people. For non-active people, they generally would be considered to contain too much salt. But you're a soldier, you're out there, you're doing physical things, your body sweats, that salt needs to be replaced. Usually we don't think of that. in regular diets, maybe we're watching how much salt we have, or, you know, but actually in a more of a situation where you're exerting yourself physically, maybe in a hot environment, or you're in a cold environment, but you're doing a lot of work, having that salt replacement is important. First, we have our wonderful Mre Spoon. It's made deep so that if you take a packet, say you've got, oh, that isn't one. Well, I'll just show you when I pull one out. But this allows you to reach to the bottom of the pouch. That's why it's longer. And here we've got chocolate protein powder mix. Okay. Here we've got 280 calories, 260 sodium, and it's got 34 grams of added sugar. Protein is 14 grams, so you can see you're getting some good calories. You're getting that protein, and it's got some other smaller amounts. It's got vitamin C is 60%. That's good. And for the ingredients, it says sugar, maltodextrin, cocoa powder, whey powder, isolate, sodium caseinate, a milk derivative, and natural and artificial flavoring. Interesting. It includes cellulose, less than 2% of cellulose gum, xanthan gum, and carrageenan. Those are basically items to make it appear to be thicker. Carrageenan is, you find that in a lot of foods, and the xanthan too. It's to give a texture that would be usually considered more with the presence of more fat. Like, in other words, chocolate milk is more viscous than regular milk. Well, if they can't get that same effect in a dry product, you put carrageenan in, and that makes it more viscous, and it seems to be more like regular chocolate. So we've got a drink. Oh, I really like these things. Nothing in it, but this is a hot beverage bag. So in other words, it's probably we'll see, but there's probably a coffee item in here. So you would fill it up with hot water. There's measurements here. The thing that's really nice about this is a really sturdy bag. There was one place one time that, they have the individual components, and you could buy these alone for like 10 cents a piece. And my goodness, if you're talking about having some everyday carry or something in your pocket, something that you want to protect or whatever, this is an outstanding option. Quite a bit of space in it, and it's just really, really rugged. So I like those. And so here we have an item, which this is actually the main meal. This is the elbow macaroni. And you can see here the idea that the spoon goes down to the bottom, although this does have rip marks here, so you do it this way. But there we go. So, this is a vegetarian. This is a vegetarian component. I'm looking for the date, but I really don't see it in here. There's some coded numbers. Maybe I could look that up. Here. Oh, I should have mentioned that with the information on that is, where is that going to be? The macaroni and tomato sauce. That's going to be in the cardboard MRE holder, flame aspiration heater. The idea is that you would open this up, you would put your meal in, and your flameless heater. Of course, you're going to add water to this to get it to work, and then you would put these together, and that would heat your main course. And so let's just look at see what this talks about for ingredients. We'll do the same thing. Only 200 calories. Wow, that's not a whole lot. Sodium is 600 milligrams at 26%. You can see it's right up there. This has 5 grams of dietary fiber, which is good. A lot of times they remove a lot of the fiber, and that let's be blunt about it, the soldiers don't have to go to the bathroom as often. Someone told me, oh, you eat these for a certain length of time, you'll have no trouble going to the bathroom. I'll actually have diarrhea. I don't know about that. But here again, we got a significant amount of, 10% of iron and potassium. The chief ingredients here are water, macaroni. It goes through those individual components. Oat fiber, egg paste, sugar, and it's got some other things in there too. So, but this is the item that you can heat it up in. We'll do that at a later time. But you can see this bottom folds too. They've got a thing on the back here, so we can see that we have. It's telling you what minerals are in it. Chocolate powder drink has C. Beverage fruit powder has vitamin C. But we don't have cheese spread. So anyway, they've got a little chart there. They had trouble with soldiers not eating the food. Usually there's a little warning in here. It doesn't say, but it kind of says in one of the places, be sure you eat all your food, because, you figure soldiers are using these for a longer period than they want to, and they probably don't like some of the elements. Okay, here we've got I think this is the one we'll test. Mango peach applesauce. So this has 110 calories. It has 14 grams of added sugar. Sodium is only 10 milligrams, so practically nothing for sodium there. You can see here we've got a design. We can rip off the top, squeeze it, and try it. Here we have, or I may do this instead of the applesauce. Here we have some snack bread, okay? In here we have 200 calories. Sodium's 390 or 17%. Added sugar 3, protein 4. And it's funny, this bread has got a kind of a cake-like consistency to it as well. And again, you got to remember that one of the ways these can be preserved is the fact that a lot of the moisture's been taken out of them. So I've mentioned this before in some other MR videos. You want to have something to drink, because some of those things can be really dry. Here we've got peanuts and dry roasted, salted. Okay, so we got 160 calories. It's kind of all this. You can tell this is vacuum packed. It doesn't have a ton of sodium, but let's look at the protein. Is 7 grams of protein. So there you go, nice little snack. Let me make sure we get everything out of it. Yep. These bags are really sturdy. I haven't tried it, but I have a feeling that you can carry water in this, but I have a feeling that if you suspended this correctly above a fireplace, that you could boil water in it. I'm not sure of that though. So we've got their peanut butter. Their peanut butter is really good. Ingredients, peanuts, vegetables, blah, 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 all these different things. The nutritional facts: 160 calories. Let's see, 13 grams of fat, protein 7 grams, and sodium's only 135 milligrams for like 6%. That tastes good. Now we have the accessory pack. Okay, the accessory packs change once in a while. Let's see if this, there doesn't appear to be a rip in it, but let me just try if I can. No. I was surprised You know, I have arthritis in my hand, and I was able to pull this apart with my hands and get it open. Usually I have to use a knife. And this one as well. Oh, nope. I did along the edge there. Maybe I did it where in between the two things, and that allowed it to happen, to open. We've got red chiclet gum. I believe if it's red, it has caffeine in it. So if you want to stay awake, you take that. I believe. I'll have to look that up again. Creamer non-dairy coffee for your coffee. We've got, here's our freeze-dried coffee. Bill's Brew, freeze-dried coffee. And then we've got another item here. We have a moist towelette, latex-free. I couldn't imagine they'd ever have latex in them, but maybe they did at one time, some of them. We have our famous matches. It's interesting, these matches are designed for damp conditions, but after a long time in damp conditions, they're not going to work. But I would assume this book of matches is going to be better when it gets damp than a standard one that you might buy. I want, you know, eventually, this will sound silly, but eventually you could give this to, you'll be able to give these to a 20-year-old and say, can you work this? And they would have trouble working it because, you know, matches, lighters, not smoking at all, whatever. Okay, then we have the lighthouse for the blind and visually impaired. Those people with that situation made these in San Francisco. This is the little toilet paper thing. Oh, we got a phone number and a lot. And I can't imagine that this could be enough toilet paper to do anything with. Obviously, it could be used to start fires, though, but I don't know. Then for our coffee, for coffee we have sugar, but we also have an extra salt we can use in whatever we want to salt. And the big bonus prize is Tabasco sauce. You know, they stopped having these for a while, and the impression I got from, you know, reading and talking to some soldiers and things was that this is a really high-priced item because you dump it in your food, and at least you can taste Tabasco sauce, and maybe it covers up some of the flavoring you don't like. And if you like Tabasco sauce, you're all set. So there it is. You know, one of these, if you didn't open it up, you can keep this in your pocket for an emergency. Maybe put it inside the bag so you could have a coffee when you want. Or if you hadn't opened it like I just did, you could use the toilet paper and the matches to get your fire going. But just a thought. So we've got all those items back in, and like I said, I'm just going to stick it in this bag so they don't rattle around. Oops, I forgot my toilet paper. My goodness. I wonder if there's directions. There's a web address on this toilet paper. I wonder if I go to it, it will tell you how you can actually effectively use something this small for toilet paper. Might be interesting. Okay, so that's the big rundown. Now let's see if we can get the, I think we're going to try the bread and the peanut butter now that we've done that. Put some of the items back in that we're not going to use. And so we've got our peanut butter and any of their things in the pouches. I've enjoyed any of the ones I've tried. You know, it's a lot of times they're regular commercial products and they've just been, what do you want to say, reportioned for made by regular companies, not special companies, and they've just been done separately to be able to do this MRE theme. I read, and I don't know if it holds true, but that any of the items with tomato sauce are actually made by Chef Boyardee, which I really dislike Chef Boyardee's products. The tomato taste is like raw tomatoes, not like good cooked ones. So let's see what we got here. I'm just seeing if there's a convenient place to rip it. Oh, yeah, these rip. These actually are opening better than the last time. And so you'll see, is this really bread? Well, it's shaped like bread, but you can see it's more of like a biscuit almost. But let's try it. We've got a peanut butter and we've got a tear here. Yeah, sure we do. See, this is partly. Thank you for your services on the peanut butter. That's a nice little morale pickup, I would think. And obviously, I'm not getting into this without my Leatherman because my arthritis. So I would have to be peanut butterless if I was out in the field all by myself, if I didn't have my knife. Some people, you know, you're going camping somewhere, you know, for the weekend, you have a bunch of these and it's going to work out real well for you. So we're going to try some of the peanut butter just as it is. Tastes great. So now we're going to, I've read too, sometimes soldiers will just keep these and they just basically eat the contents of it. They don't necessarily put it on something. That way they've got a quick snack in one of their pockets. So let's kind of spread this out a little. Oh, I probably should have used the Mre Spoon, but I didn't. Okay, here we go. I consider the snack bread basically tasteless. The peanut butter is good, so you can have at it. Good. A good combination. You've got to remember, too, when you're in a situation where you might actually need to use these, your standards of what good food is and not good food goes down to, I'm glad I have something to eat. So, and it is quite dry. You can see me with my drink here. So there we go. I know this first one was long, but we'll do some of the other components in it, and those will probably be shorter.